Yo, Josh Rubin from East West Healing and Performance today. Do you have watery diarrhea? Do you have stomach pains? Do you have respiratory problems? Do you have unexplained symptoms that are unexplained? Well, there's a parasite. It's actually a protozoan, and I'm finding it very, 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 very common in people nowadays. Now, the question is why? Well, according to the CDC, it was not really kind of found until the 1920s, but prior to the 1980s, there really wasn't many cases of cryptosporidium. Some people who are very cool into lab testing like calling it crypto, but it's a parasite. It's actually a protozoan. It's really small. Now, I don't know why more and more people are getting infected by it. By doing the lab tests that I do, I'm seeing it kind of come up more and more and more. Now, where do you get it? Most people say, well, how do I get it? You get it from fecal to oral contamination. Now, there's many ways. If you start using your brain, you can think about how you can get it from food, from God knows what. Nowadays, with all those crazy people out there. People not washing their hands after picking food, after going to the bathroom, on and on and on. The water that they're washing food with, lettuce, vegetables, on and on, is contaminated. The water in restaurants is contaminated. The people that are handling the food, they have it under their fingernails. That's where most parasites actually kind of hide. But at the same time, you see it a lot in pools. Now, there's two parasites that you see in pools a lot. It's Diarrhea and Cryptosporidium. Or for us cool people, we call it crypto. And chlorine and all these other things, they don't kill it. So when you're in the pool, over 60% of the fluids that touches your skin, you actually absorb. So you can absorb it into your skin. Now, you can get it from walking on a dog beach, from the poop in the sand, walking on the sand, and it can actually be absorbed into the skin, on and on and on. The thing about Cryptosporidium that's interesting is it likes to inhabit itself in the small intestine. Not the stomach, not the large intestine, the small intestine. Or for all those cool people out there that like to do lab testing, we call it the SI. So the interesting thing about it is it's intracellular and extracellular, meaning it can get into the cells of your body and it attacks the outside of the cells. So while it's doing that, it's quite destructive to the small intestine. Now, in your small intestine is where you absorb over 90% of the food in your body. Your villi in your small intestine look like this. They got little hairs on the top. They're called microvilli. These are called concentric folds. This is how you absorb all the food that you take in and all the water and on and on and on. This is how you break down fat through these little lacteals on the top of your villi. This is how you break down lactose from milk, or I should say, lactose from milk, and sucrose is sugar. So people that have lactose intolerance or sugar intolerance is because these villi are not releasing lactase and sucrase to break them down, as well as people with fat digestive issues. They can't break down the fat because the lacteals are actually gone. So let's get back to the topic, right? So what happens with Cryptosporidium, it gets into the cells. Now, you absorb food many different ways in nutrients and water and on and on and on. Through passive, active, and facilitated transport. But also you do it through here in the tight junctions. Now, this is called paracellular transport between the cells. Now, that's actually inhibited when you have Cryptosporidium. So now, not only do you stop absorbing your foods, these villi and microvilli are gone. The villi start to go like this and develop crypts in them. So they can develop pockets. Like if that could develop a pocket right there. So what happens is the parasite actually gets trapped in the pocket. Your body was building immune complexes that attack the parasite. Now you've trapped it in a pocket, so now your body develops an immune system or complexes against your tissue, and it starts attacking your tissue. And this is how you develop an autoimmune disease. God just doesn't wave a wand and go, boom, you're going to get an autoimmune disease. Well, most of your immune system's in your gut. So we see people that have Cryptosporidium have huge malabsorption issues, huge weight loss, watery diarrhea because they can't absorb their food, they get stomach pains. A lot of them have respiratory issues. Now you're asking why. The interesting thing about Cryptosporidium is people are out there taking all these herbs, doing all these cleanses. They think it's just great to do this stuff when they don't really know what's going on. Well, these parasites, when you take them, can actually move. And they sense these herbs coming in so they can move to the lungs or the conjunctiva of the eye. So you see people that have Cryptosporidium or severe cases of it, they'll develop a lot of respiratory problems, or they develop issues with the eyes, such as they feel like they have sand in their eyes all the time. So that's my 2 cents on Cryptosporidium. Now, how do you get rid of it? Everyone's like, tell me how do I get rid of it? Well, I'm not going to do that for liability purposes, and what you see a lot of the time with Cryptosporidium is it's always inhabited by another parasite, usually a bacterial infection, and usually creates the environment for a fungal infection. And what I'm finding is people are trying to get rid of these parasites, but they're not getting rid of the reason. Like they're walking barefoot in the dog beach all the time, or they're still swimming in pools while they're taking their medication. So Googling online, you can find tons about it. My approach is the antibiotics first. I always do it with a parasite like this. It's a huge parasite. But it's all personal preference. It depends on the client, their GI symptoms. And then we do an herbal follow-up. We search nutritionally what's going on, where they might get in the cryptosporidium. Then we do a GI healing program, especially in the small intestine, so they can absorb their food. Because of this, what you'll find is people develop hepatobiliary insufficiencies in the liver gallbladder, which can lead to gallstones, or pancreatic insufficiencies, so they can't break down their food, so they end up with food in their stool. And they end up with bowel toxemia issues. They develop severe, cardiovascular issues or severe gas. But it's all because of the small intestine and a pH imbalance, and they overgrow candida and on and on and on. So you're seeing all these issues, and the real culprit is the cryptosporidium. So that's about my 2 cents on cryptosporidium. The main symptoms of it are watery diarrhea, stomach cramps, and usually severe weight loss and malnutrition, fatigue. So Google it, go online, check it out. I'm not saying you have it. This isn't, me diagnosing. I'm just educating you. Most people going to email me and say, well, it's great. This is what it does. How do I get rid of it? Well, the bottom line is I'm not going to give you all the answers. You got to do some work yourself. So thanks for tuning in today. It's Monday. It's a great day. I'll check you later. Peace.